Welcome to Chapter 5, Getting Started with Python, Part 2. Keywords in Python. Keywords in Python are reserved words. That means you cannot use those words as a variable name in your program. And they have a certain purpose or meaning. And usually they are case sensitive. For example, false, true, none has the first character as the uppercase. And the other common keywords are if, elif, is, in, return. These are some of the popular keywords. Let us now look at some sets of keywords and what they are typically used for. The first set of keywords, true, false, and none, are actually constants. And then and, or, not, is, in, they are logical and membership operators. And if, else, elif, while, for, these are used for control flow keywords. Def, class, lambda, used for function and class declarations. Try, except, finally, raise are typically used for exception handling. Identifiers. Just like in India, we have Aadhaar number that uniquely identifies a person in the country. In Python, we use identifiers to uniquely identify a name, variables, or functions, or classes, or modules and objects. And there are certain rules that apply. The first character can be either a small or uppercase alphabet or an underscore. The subsequent characters can consist of alphabets or numbers or underscore. But we cannot use some special symbols as shown on the screen, and we cannot use Python keywords as identifiers. And all identifiers are case sensitive. Variables. To declare a variable in Python, just have to write the variable name equal to and provide a value. So when we're declaring, we are also assigning a value to the variable. Data type in Python is implicit. So when you are writing max underscore score is equal to 95, you are implying that max underscore score is of the data type integer and the value is 95. So in variable naming convention, there are different conventions available. One is called snake case, where you have underscore separating each word. Then you have camel case, where the first letter of your variable will be small, but the subsequent words first letter will be capital. And then pastel case, where every initial letter in the word will be capital, and all uppercase when all the variable name characters are uppercase, and all lowercase where all the characters in the variable name are lower. Let us take a look at a simple Python program where we have two variables, max score and sin score. We assign the values of those scores. Then we find out the total score and then the average score. And once all this computation is over, we're trying to print the max score, sin score, total score, and average score as shown on the screen. Now in this program, if you see, max score and sin score are integers, total score is again an integer, but the average score, because we do a division operation, it becomes float implicitly. So it stores a decimal value, as you can see, which is 93.5. Comments. These are lines of statements within the program which are ignored by the interpreter. And we write comments to make remarks or document or explain the purpose of program for another developer, or when we look at it at a future, it will be easy for us to understand. What are the inputs, what are the outputs are typical documentation that you can do in your program. And then by doing this, we foster collaboration between developers. In large projects, we will have tens or even hundreds of developers working on the same code base or the same project. So if everyone needs to understand what the program does, we need to perform documentation by using comments. There are two types of documentation you can do. One is a single line comment. Any line with a hashtag in the front will be ignored by the interpreter. The whole line would be ignored by the interpreter. If there is a multi-line documentation that you want to do, then you can actually use the triple double quotes or triple single quotes and then write multiple lines of documentation that you want. Now let's look at the same program that we wrote. Now we are adding some comments and document strings. So the first line of the program itself is a comment. As you can see, there is a hash symbol, and the comment is a program to calculate total and average score of a student in maths and science. As you can see, we are using the maths score and science score variables, and then we have a document string after that. The total score is calculated by adding the math score and science score. Average score is calculated by dividing the total score by the number of subjects, that is 2. So this is a document string which explains the code that we've written in this program, and also it makes it easy for anyone to read and understand the code.